Well, good morning, guys. It's about 6:30 a.m. on Sunday, and I wanted to talk about this thing I have on my boat here. It's called the PacMotor, and you've probably seen it before. If you're into kayaking and electric or automated propulsion systems, you've probably come across videos that show this device. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what it was, how it worked, and what I think about it so far, and share it with you guys. The PacMotor is kind of like a little exoskeleton that mounts onto your kayak through the series of straps, which is probably one of my negatives to mounting it. I don't love the way that it mounts because it has a little bit of torque and wiggle. But as you find out on the water, you know, nothing is directly linked and connected when it comes to water. It's all kind of flowy. It tends to work fine. So I give it a pass, but I don't love the way that it connects. I would like to see a little bit more solid locking mechanisms on this, but you know, it is what it is. So let me show you all the components. First of all, you get this unit right here, and this unit has a control system in here, which then connects to this battery, and then this battery plugs up, and then you have a hand controller. I'm gonna pull those out right now. So the battery I bought comes in like a little Pelican briefcase type thing, waterproof, I would imagine, or water resistant. I wouldn't drop it in the water, it's probably gonna leak. It's 12 volt, 50 amp hours. So they say that this thing will propel this boat around for about 3 hours. I don't think that's full blast, probably just kind of putzing around 3 or 4 hours. I get 2 to 3 hours, no problem. Anything over that, I would probably not recommend this size battery. I would get a bigger one. And you don't have to use their proprietary battery, although it does have a nice little connector here on the side that connects to their system, and it has a panel that shows you your battery life and some other statistics as you're using it. And it's easy to carry and it's protected, so it's a good start. And I got this on a Kickstarter when they first started out their company. I got on the list early, and I think I got this whole package for like 500 bucks, maybe 475, something like that. It took forever to get it. At one time, I didn't even think I was gonna get it. And then one day I got an email saying, your thing's gonna be here soon, and congratulations. And then it took like another month and a half, 2 months. So it was really quite a wait, but you know, I'm happy I have it now, and I'm happy I got it for the price that I did, because I think the prices are higher. I'll put the link down below for the company and how to get one of these. I'm not exactly sure what the current pricing is. And then this is the controller. This controller has like a joystick action, and it has, you know, buttons here. One of them is to, I believe, turn it on. Let's plug it all up and turn it on and see if we can show you how this thing works. So the first thing you'll do is you'll secure this somewhere. I usually put it in the back here of my boat. You take off the cap. You take this right here, and you hear it just kind of beep and chime, and it kicks on. And let's see if I can cut on my remote. The remote stays blue and lit when it finds the system. Okay, on this system you have a right and a left. Now, right now they're just in the up position, so I can put them in the water, and I'll show you how they go down here in a second. But the way this controller works, if you go right, it's gonna wanna turn your boat this way, so it's probably gonna kick this motor on. Okay, I'm wrong. It actually, you know what it does? It runs them in opposites. So one pushes, one pulls, in order to, like if you wanted to go this way with your boat, like this, you just push this right. Or if you want to go left, you push it this way, and they change directions. If you want to go backwards, they probably work together, and they go backwards, you go forwards. And then there's any other variation within the range of this. It's like a literal joystick for like a video game. So you can dial in exactly the motion you want to get, which is really what makes this unique, and I think more beneficial than just a trolling motor straight through the bottom of your boat, going forward, reverse, left, right. This really can help you, you know, move around as you need to, and it's very sensitive. And then the other thing you can do is you can set this thing in a forward position, have the boat just cruising, and I think you can hit that, and it keeps it in cruise control mode. See that green light just lit up? And now it will go at that speed, in that direction, at that attitude for as long as you want. And then you can use your rudder to steer and all that kind of thing. And I think you just push a button to kill it. And then you're back on manual mode. And that's really it. It's pretty simple. Then you just unplug it when you're done. I would always recommend putting the cover back on, keeping everything dry. So let's talk about how these deploy. On each side, there's a little ring. It looks like a keychain ring, and it has a pin, spring-loaded pin. And you basically pull the pin, and the arm will go down into different locked positions. And I find that, don't try to be creative with it, just let it down as far as it'll go, and then come up until it locks in. And then this is usually the position that I have the best success. Now, it doesn't look like it goes down very far, but remember the water line of your boat is right up here. So it's usually 6 to 8 inches below the water line pretty easily. Now, I have had situations where I'm turning or bending or leaning, and it causes one of the props to come out of the water a little bit. But that's usually not that big of a deal. Now, there's quite a bit of flex and movement in these arms, and at first I was a little worried about it, kind of like it doesn't feel super solid. But I will say that you'll find that most of these little movements kind of settle in as the boat starts adding propulsion. It kind of tightens up, and it doesn't feel as bad as it looks here. I think when it's in the water, it's just a little bit more of an elegant solution. So you have to just kind of take the good with the bad. But this stays out of the way. Unfortunately, on this particular kayak, I'm covering a hatch door here, which I never used anyway. It's good for like jackets and bigger bulky stuff, maybe like drinks. If I were to keep it permanently on a certain kayak, I'd probably come up with some rigging that's going to be more solid in terms of locking this thing into a permanent position. But for testing in this kayak, this is how I've been using it for the most part, and I'm pretty happy with it. When you're done, you do this right here. Now, when you're in the boat and you have to reach over your shoulder to pull these pins, first of all, it's really hard to pull these pins. And the other thing is it's really hard to reach down and get these arms up out of the water. So it can be a little tricky putting them up and down, but once they're up and down, you're kind of done. Well guys, here she is. Here's the rig and how I have it set up. Looks really cool, very high-tech looking. Oh God, it's heavy. And before you get on the water, it's a great idea to hook all this stuff up. Because it's not easy to do behind your back. So I'm going to put this wire here, move this forward, and then this, I'll put the wire underneath here. I don't know if you guys can see all this, but I just plug her in and move it to where it's not going to bust off. So from here, it's just your normal kayak deploy. I'm going to get this seat to where I like it. Tip to the wise, bring a paddle. Mechanical things can break, so you don't want to be out here messing around with something like this and all of a sudden it doesn't work. So here, what you do is you just pull it and it falls down in the water. I pull it till it clicks. This one, I pull it. I pull it till it clicks. Get out the trusty old Control-O-Matic. Now you can see this little cavity down here fills up with water, but that's not really a hindrance as far as traveling. Can't store anything down there, but so you turn this on and it locks. And here we are. You can see right here. Let me just show you some of the maneuvers. You really can't see the things working, but let's just do a looking out view on the kayak. If you wanted to go left, like spin in a circle left, right? You just go left. I mean, it's pretty strong. All right, I spun around in a circle. If you want to go back the other way, you can go back the other way. I mean, that's pretty cool. Now, if you want to go kind of in an attitude off to the right, you just kind of point it where you want. Now, you can hear it. It's a little noisy. Kind of sounds like you know, like the drone motor sound like when you're flying a drone. It's kind of like that. I'm going to put that box right there so it's not in my way. And you can see it frees up a lot of leg space down here. If you didn't have a pedal thing, you wouldn't have to worry about filling that void. If you had, you know, the nice thing is this, you can go buy a $200 kayak and throw this $800 propulsion system on there, and all of a sudden you've got a pretty good fishing setup. And it is what it is. I mean, the thing is that's nice about it is I can take this unit, stick it between my legs, like right here. Let's see. Yeah, stick it between my legs, and as I'm fishing, I just kind of push this thing around where I want to be, and then I'll fish and use my hands how I want to, and then I'll just reach down, back up a little bit, go left a little bit. Even when I'm fighting a fish, I can reach down and do it. They have lanyards you could put around your neck, do it that way. I've seen some guys where they have arms on their chairs and they'll mount them, and I'll just put it in forward. And you don't have to go fast, right? Let me get it straightened out. Okay, I'm on cruise, and this thing is moving on its own. Right now, it's on a real slow crawl. So you could now use your rudder to guide the boat with just the simple propulsion system of this thing. So what I'll do is just run up this bank and fish as I'm moving. The thing is, when it's in cruise control, you can't do anything with it. There we go. There we go. No hooks. There we go. Maybe I should have been using this the whole time. There we go, bro. Ooh. All right, this is where this really comes in handy. Let's say you want to just shoot across the lake. This thing will put down some serious tracks, and I'm just on cruise control in the green mode, and I've got the rudder down, and I can just kind of steer my boat around with the rudder as I need to, which makes it actually quite nimble. I don't know, this is probably going to cook the battery real fast, but I just wanted to get over here and then shoot up this side. Look at that big old snapping turtle. Look at that daddy-o. Good one. Nice big one. So anyway, guys, to wrap it up, I would say this system is pretty awesome. I don't like the mechanisms necessarily that lower and raise the feet. It feels a little wonky and like it could break eventually, especially if I ran it into something, which I would probably do. Good thing is, if you look here, battery says 97%. That's amazing. I was out there for like 3 hours using this thing, so it seems like it's going to work for a good long time on the water. Now, I wasn't like full blast going like 2-3 miles, but yeah, I was moving around quite a bit, a lot of wind. I just put everything in here. I store everything up in my garage, leave it ready for the next time. I'm just going to charge this battery when it gets down below like 50%, so I'm not always juicing it up and topping it off. But I might come up with a different mounting system down the road that will work better for me. But for the most part, I think I'm pretty content with the way things are working so far. Give me your thoughts, drawbacks, positives, anything you might think about the system or ideas that you might have that I could do with it in the future, and we'll try it out. You guys have a good one. Take care. I'll see you later.